What's up, everybody? My name is Godzi, and welcome back to another episode of Wonderful Everyday Down the Rabbit Hole. Last episode, more weird things happened, and it turns out that kiss choice, actually, determines what route I end up on. So currently we're on Kagami's route, so that's something. And we went to the carnival, or the amusement park, that's the right word, with Zakuro, so cooliosis. I was actually given a little, not really a tip, but a little tidbit of information regarding an option that should say, yeah, skip red text only, because there is a difference with the fucking shit. How did the goddammit amusement park. Yeah, there's a difference with the part with the amusement park when I'm on Zakuro's route. So if I have this option on, skip red text only, and I skip through the text, it should stop when there's new text. So that's good to know. And I also forgot we met Ayana last episode, who hasn't done much, but she still exists. So that it's worth mentioning that. So we have Kagami. Alright. Why are we walking in the dark? We should turn on the lights. What are you saying? We need to turn off as many lights as we can. Why is that? While stargazing, light is our greatest enemy. When your eyes get used to the light, you can't see the stars. Oh, okay. We're at the school then. Still, the school is creepy at night. I can't believe it gets this dark when you turn off the lights. That's because the school is surrounded by a forest. The inside is pretty dark. Oh god. Red. Watch your step now. Ah! Putting a flashlight under your face is the oldest trick in the book. Oh. That's what we're doing. But did you hear Kagami's just now? Ah! She made an amazing face. Of course you'll be surprised if you use a light like that with red cellophane over the bulb. Oh, okay. Yep, it makes you look like you're covered in blood. Dun dun. Oh, really? That'll cover you in blood for real. Huh? And then Yuki died. Ow! You reap what you sow. Consider yourself lucky you're not really bleeding. Still, why is the flashlight red? A normal flashlight is too bright, so I made it red. Look, there are rubber bands holding the cellophane in place. Really though, even if we had a telescope, we probably couldn't see the stars since Tokyo is so bright. The school is pretty far from the shopping district, but there might still be too much light. Well, even so, it's important to get our eyes used to the dark. I see. Also, I'm sorry, the summer triangle was just an excuse. It's fine. Thanks to your excuse, we get to enjoy our last night together like this. That's right, it's our last night. Let's enjoy it. I'm guessing they already know that Zakuro is supposed to move, then? Yes. Well, it's just like we thought. The view is only a bit better than from my house. Also, I just remembered another comment I got regarding the text box. A downside to leaving it completely opaque is that sometimes it'll cut off parts of CGs, which... yeah, I already figured that much out, but I can just right-click and do that, or even just hide the text window, so that also works. But, yeah, if it proves to be too annoying, I'll change it so it's semi-transparent at least. Really? Don't you think there are a lot of stars out tonight? That's gonna be a no from me. Yeah, but I was expecting the Milky Way to pop out at me, you know? That wouldn't happen unless we went to a mountain. You were expecting too much, huh? Well, it's nice that there's not much moonlight. Look at the city, please. Huh? That's... For a moment, we couldn't comprehend what was happening. The city lights were going out one by one. No way. Is it a power outage? Oh. It's the first time I've ever seen one. Me too. Huh. I thought power outages only happened in the Showa era. I guess they do still happen. What, are power outages a rarity in Japan? They happen every now and then where I live, because people are dumbasses and drive into telephone poles. Nah. Takashima looked up at the sky and raised her voice. Oh. Whoa. It's amazing. Our eyes had gotten accustomed to the dark, and yet the sky that appeared over our heads was completely different from before. This is a miracle, isn't it? Amazing. It's like God planned for this to happen. No, Tsukasa. If God did this, he'd be troubling a lot of people in the city. I guess so, since the lights suddenly went out. I wonder how long this will last. I don't know. A long one would be about 10 minutes, right? I'm not really sure, though. Wow, amazing. We can see really well. Look, in the eastern sky, you can see the Milky Way. There's no way we ought to be able to see this in Tokyo's sky. I'll bet Miyu will be mad when she hears about this. That's right. She can't see this, even though she's always looking at the sky so enthusiastically, yet we get to see it by pure coincidence. But still, the stars sure are beautiful. The brightest star there is Vega. It's Orihime's star. And then that one is Altair. Compared to Orihime, Natsuhiko doesn't shine very bright. Though in this era, that's not so surprising. The era has nothing to do with it. Do you know the name of the bridge that connects them? I don't. Does it have a name? It's called the Magpie Bridge. What's a magpie? It's a type of bird. There aren't very many of them in Japan, though. Why a bird? You see, a magpie's back and tail are black. Only its stomach is white. So when you see a group of them from below, it looks like a bridge, or so they say. Okay. The magpies all work together to spread their wings and fly from the south shore of the Milky Way to the north shore, making a bridge for Natsuhiko and Orihime. Jeez, Natsuhiko, that's why you're so lackluster. You have to ask for help from a tiny bird like a magpie. That's not right. Natsuhiko is a first magnitude star, so he's very bright. But Orihime is brighter, isn't she? She's the fifth brightest in the entire sky. I guess, but Natsuhiko is doing his best too. Why were the two of them separated? They were both hard workers until they got married and stopped working. The Heavenly King got mad at that and separated them. That doesn't make it sound like a very romantic story. Let's see. That one is Deneb. That one is the swan's asshole. Don't say that! But really, from its location, that's what it would be, right? The butt, I mean. Yuki, do you know anything about the swan constellation? Well, think of Deneb as the head. The head? Right, if Deneb is the head, then what could it be other than the asshole? I don't know. I can't really tell you what constellations are supposed to look like. It just looks like a cross to me. Correct. In Christian countries, they think of it as the crucifix, so they call it the Northern Cross. In the south, there's the Southern Cross, and the Northern Cross lies opposite of it in the northern sky. Oh, that sounds really romantic. But it's the swan's asshole. No, it's not! Okay. Anyway, the power still isn't coming back on. About that, I was just looking at the news on my phone, and it looks like it'll take about an hour for the power to come back on. What happened? Why is there a huge power outage? They're saying that a crane ship was going down the river with its arm up and it hit the central power line. Pfft. What? That's really bad, isn't it? The main line and the backup were both severed, so it's going to take a while. Then we should borrow the telescope from the astronomy club room. Can we borrow it? We do have permission. Come on, the key works for both the roof and the club room. So, who's going to go get it? You are, of course. Why? Because you're the strongest, right? Nah, I can't compare to your idiot strength. Did you say something? No, nothing. But I don't know where the astronomy club room is. Really? I guess someone else needs to go with Yuki. Let's see, Yuki can carry the stuff. And as for someone who knows where the club room is... I don't know where it is. I know where it is, but... Then you go, Tsukasa. Why would you say that? What's wrong? You're the one who really wants to go. Huh? Why would you think that? It's quite obvious to us. Why? Because your face got red the second someone said together with Yuki. No way! Of course not. There's no way we could see in that darkness. Ah! Ah! Huh? What's wrong? Takashima, why? Do you have your hands on our chests? Oh? Your hearts are both beating fast. They're positively racing. That's not true. What does that prove? But Kagami's heart is beating faster, just a little bit faster. That seems like a incorrect translation, or a very awkwardly written sentence. Why would you say that? Well, that just shows how excited you are, right? What's that mean? Tsukasa, Kagami, your hands. Huh? Put one hand on the other's chest and one on your own, like this. Ah. Ugh. You're right. Sister's is definitely faster. That's not it. I'm a scaredy cat, you know? That's it. That's the only reason my heart is beating faster. Then the three of us should go together. Oh, sure, that works, yeah. Are you going to leave me here by myself? That sounds a little lonely. Sorry about that. Well, let's go. Okay. Tsukasa pulled us by the hands as she headed down the stairs. I was worried that Tsukasa might fall if she ran down the stairs since she was so clumsy and all. Oh no, whatever shall I do? What is it? I have to go to the bathroom. Huh? Oh. Sorry, this is a real emergency here, so you'll have to go get the telescope alone with Yuki, sister. What are you saying? In that case, I'll come with you. There's a huge sofa in the astronomy club room. Tsukasa! Tsukasa ran back up the stairs that we just walked down. Well, shall we get going? Go? Huh? Shouldn't we? I guess we should. Anyway, let's go. That's the plan. Okay. School really is scary at night. Especially since the club rooms are on the inside. Astronomy. Ah, here it is. There it is. The key. Here it is. Okay. It's dark. Is that it? It's up pretty high, isn't it? Jeez, where is it? I can't see it at all. Kagami? Ow! Oh, wrong character. Yuki? What are you doing? The globe just fell on me. So that's what happened. Sorry! Jeez. I tumbled on top of Kagami when I dodged the falling globe. Oh, convenient, right? Our faces were unnaturally close. Haha, it kind of made me think about what we did before. I laughed and was about to move, then at that moment Kagami's mouth opened. Oh? Yuki? Huh? What? No, the other day, we kissed, didn't we? Huh? Yeah? Why the hell was she bringing that up? I was trying not to think about that. For some reason, I could feel my heart beating faster. I wondered why I could feel it so clearly. You don't normally pay attention to the beating of your own heart. Kagami and I looked into each other's eyes. She was the first to speak again. You see, when our lips touched, I was incredibly happy. Am I a pervert? You're a pervert, huh? What did you say? Kagami looked upset. Somehow, seeing that face made me want to tease her. My heart started to beat even faster. If I kept looking at Kagami's pale skin here in the darkness, I might... Yeah, when you kissed me all of a sudden, it was pretty surprising. Even though you're a girl, you kissed another girl like me. That was because we were playing the king game. So you just kissed me out of the blue like that? Well, yeah. In that case... Huh? I pushed Kagami's body down and whispered, my mouth right next to hers. What if this time, I kissed you right here and now? Huh? My lips slowly approached hers. Kagami closed her eyes. Oh boy. Ah! Jesus Christ, calm down. My tongue traced the outline of Kagami's lips. A simple joke. We'd kissed before and I was just touching her lips. It was just a prank, a continuation of before. Somehow the beating of my heart made it impossible to resist such a prank. That was hardly a kiss. I laughed as I said that. And then... Okay. Seizing my face between her hands, Kagami kissed me back. No, I'm not reading that. We were too eager, so our teeth kept bumping each other, but Kagami didn't notice at all, so she kept kissing me. Even as we drew apart, a silver thread connected our lips. Kagami looked at me silently, her eyes moist. Those were the exact same eyes as she'd had the other day. Since she first looked at me with those eyes, it was just a matter of time until we ended up doing this. I teased her even as I felt my own heart beating like a drum in my chest. Eventually it was beating so fast that I was no longer just teasing her. The situation grew like a snowball rolling downhill. As it rolls, it grows bigger, just like our hearts. I found myself moving in for another kiss before I realized it. Kagami's soft tongue made its way inside my mouth. I responded by twining my tongue around hers. We moistened each other's lips, the sound escaping them seeming obscene. Yuki! What is it, Kagami? Yuki, you dummy! Tummy, tummy, tummy! You shouldn't call people dummies all the time. Jeez, it's your fault that I couldn't hold my feelings any longer. It's my fault? That's right, Yuki, You know, there's nothing you need to hold back. Huh? Because I feel the same as you do. I tried to deny it, but in reality I knew it ever since that day. I knew it since we kissed during the King game. A game can change reality. The mischief in my heart had turned into true love. Over a course of a couple days? I don't know if there was anything I needed to censor there, but if there was, then I will. I ran my fingers over Kagami's thigh. Your skin is so soft and smooth. Yuki? What, you want me to stop? No, if you stop. What? Dummy, tummy, dummy! Relax, I'm not gonna stop. My hand slid beneath her skirt. You're so warm down here. There's just this one scrap of cloth between me and you. Okay, no, I don't think there is anything right there I have to censor. No, why did I voice that? Kagami really was hot down there, and no. Calm down. Are you sweating? That's right. It was hot today, so I was sweating. This game's stupid. I'm not reading that either. I felt her body quivering underneath me. No, that's not it. What's not? This is sweat, isn't it? You know. What the fuck? Nope. Jesus Christ, I feel like even if I had voices on, it'd be a fucking community guideline problem. Jesus Christ. How did people get away with playing this game with voices on YouTube? What the hell? Kagami's body was shaking. Nope. Not reading. What the fuck? This is way more ridiculous than I expected. What? Oh my god. Why are you picking on me? Don't pick on me like that. What? This is sweat, isn't it? There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Nope. Kagami, what can't I do? Can you say it? Oh my fucking god. Nope, I have to censor that, that's for damn sure. Though it was dark, her lower body was completely on display when I lifted up her skirt. Nope. What's wrong? Nope. Jesus fucking Christ. She did her best to cover her mouth, and nope. Yet every time she covered her mouth, nope. Anyone could tell what kind of state she was in. I barely, nope. Nope. Oh my fucking god. This is ridiculous. This isn't even the canonical route. This is just an extra. So this isn't really story relevant, is it? Do alternate endings have any importance to the story at all? Because if they don't, then I'm probably not even going to bother doing Tsukasa's route, because it'd just be more uncomfortable stuff that I don't have to voice. Or won't, because I'm not gonna. I don't need those sound bites on the internet. What the fuck? This writing is so weird. I seriously, no, I'm not gonna read this stuff. I turn on voices too, but seriously, I don't even feel comfortable enough doing that. What the f... No. I swear to God, no. No, this is just stupid. What the fuck? Slurp? No. When does it end? I don't like this. This is... No. Does it get worse? I mean, censor-wise, it doesn't. This just feels like smut at this point, I'm not gonna lie. Is that the end? I kissed Kagami for a long time, then I... Oh no. Of course it gets worse. When does it end? Yeah, I'm not gonna... From now on, I think I'm only gonna go canonical routes, if I can help it. The fuck? You fell asleep? The fuck? Zakuro and Tsukasa are probably just on the roof like, where the fuck is a telescope? What? Did they never go to check on them? Oh no, they did. Okay, yeah, because it says Tsukasa. As the sun was rising on a new day, we were woken by Tsukasa. She saw us embracing each other completely naked. What the fuck happened? But she wasn't surprised or disgusted. I'm just disappointed in you two. Sister, would you please think of the people who've been waiting for you upstairs all night? Tsukasa got mad and said that. Behind her, Takashima was giggling. Well, there's no time to shower. Put on your clothes, let's go home. How the fuck? There's gotta be some really weird shit going on. Whatever the central thing is with the story, because, yeah, that's not safe for work, but it's not really disturbing. If that's as bad as this game gets, like, as far as, like, oh, how disturbing it gets, then I'd be very disappointed. Because stuff like that, I don't care. That's just stuff. That's just dumb. Yeah, and even if there's stuff like that in canonical routes, I'm still not gonna voice any of it. I don't care to see stuff like that. Especially if I'm posting it on the internet. Like that, the last day ended. Oh, it's still going? Okay. I'm assuming that's the climax, so to speak, right? So is this like a bad ending? I'm guessing then? It's the next train, isn't it? It's a limited express train. It'll take you straight there. I looked away from the display and returned my eyes to Takashima. Yeah. Come play with us again if you ever get the chance. Yes, I'll contact you soon as I get settled in there. Yeah. Wait, wrong character. Yeah, call us when you can. Okay, though it's really far away. What do you mean? We'll still be living under the same sky. It's not like it's that far. But that applies to any place in the world. Jeez, you always take everything to the extreme, Yuki. Yeah, she sure does. Wouldn't you know, Kagami? Thank you for everything. I've really had fun. No, thank you. There were a lot of things we only got to experience because you were around. That's right. Really wouldn't have been the same without you. Is your train coming soon? Yes, in 10 minutes I'll be on my way. Swaying with the movement of the train, looking out at the passing scenery through the window. These past few days were kind of mysterious. Mysterious, were they? Yeah, they were the same, yet somehow they were completely different. Takashima's expression looked sad for just a moment.
Yuki, could I ask you something?
Huh? What's that?
Are you happy with this world?
What are you saying? Of course I am. I'm incredibly happy. But shouldn't you say, happy to be in this world?
I guess you're right. Oh, your train is coming. Tsukasa. Please take care of Yuki.
Yeah, of course.
Kagami.
What is it all of a sudden?
Nothing. It's just that you should take care of her too, Kagami.
What? No way.
This world, which is not a vessel, has nevertheless been filled to the brim. The shape of that happiness is probably like a soft soap bubble. The memories we made were real, even if they only happened in this illusionary world expanding like an ephemeral soap bubble.
Huh? What? Is that just a long-winded way of saying that... Like, are they gonna pull a twist that it's like multiple timelines or something? Repeating timelines? Like with Umineko?
Nothing. It's just that
That's a really weird train honk. The train passed behind me. I couldn't hear her words over the noise. I think that her lips formed the words, was happy. The train stopped. The doors opened behind me. Train's arrived, huh?
Yes, but it's alright. Did you know that this train goes all the way over there? This train goes all the way to the next city.
That's right. That's like how trains work.
So if you forget me, I can still come see you again someday. Farewell.
Takashima laughed. The train doors closed. The train shook, and then it started to move. Zakuro's hand waved in the air. It only lasted a moment. A very, very long moment. You look a bit down. Huh? What do you mean? Since Takashima left, I mean.
Really?
Well, it's awfully lonely without her, isn't it? What the heck? Just go live with her then. Who? You. What are you talking about? Are you jealous? Why would I be? Well, you sure seem like you're upset about something, and you were watching my face really intently when you said that. You're so self-centered. Why do you think I care about you? Because you love me, of course. Yeah. You're all red. Hey, you're just teasing me, aren't you? Teasing? Whatever could you mean? Huh? I embrace Kagami. She doesn't look it, but Kagami is actually a very fragile little girl. Yeah, that's one... Okay, if you want to put it that way. It seemed as if I could break her in an instant. Did you not already? Okay, a wholesome kiss. That's better. If there is one thing that changed after Takashima came into my life, it's that my childhood friend became something more than a childhood friend. Yeah, you can put it that way again. I got a new girlfriend. A girlfriend even though I'm a girl myself. How about that? Though it probably doesn't really matter. No, it doesn't. Happy days. Something inside me had been filled. That's the kind of... Yup. You can put it that way too. It's the kind of world I live in now. Yeah, all this talk of the world really makes me think that it has to do with, like, alternate timelines. That's my best guess. Oh, credits. Can I scroll through them a little faster? No? They're just gonna move at that snail's pace? Or is... No, that is credits. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of all that dumb shit. If there was anything important in there, among all the moaning and sweat, then feel free to tell me in the comments, because I'll read it in my spare time, as weird as that sounds. But I genuinely don't care. If there's ever anything important in a, well, alternate ending, I guess I should say, because this didn't seem like a bad ending, but I don't want to call it a wrong ending either. Visual novels are weird with what they consider alternate endings as. Or is it, like, equally canonical, but not with what continues from this point onward? Or something? Because... yeah. Okay, it doesn't go any faster? Nope. I tried pressing Control, Enter, the arrow keys, left click, right click, scroll wheel. Nope. The button that changes the color of my mouse? Nope. Just changes the color of my mouse. Yeah, that was weird. I might just cut that part of the video entirely, just so I don't have to censor anything, because I really don't think there's anything important there. It's just me being like, God damn, what the fuck? Why? This is stupid, this is dumb. Because it was stupid and dumb. Like, I didn't expect this game to be that not safe for work. I thought it was just gonna be occasionally sexually explicit, because it's a mature visual novel, but nope. That was certainly wacky. Very, very wacky. And I did not care for it. I'm sorry if anyone likes those scenes. I'm not a fan of erogays. Granted, I haven't played, well, I say I haven't played any. What the fuck do you call this so far? This does get better, right? This game does take itself more seriously and isn't just smut. I would assume so, right? I'd assume it would have to be. Especially since, like, nothing happened with Ayana at all. If every alternate ending is just straight up hentai, then that's not gonna happen, okay? And if there's anything like that in the canon routes, then I'll probably still skip through it, unless there's anything important. I'll always leave it on screen and read it in my head. You know? But stuff like that I really don't care for at all. It's just... bleh. Okay, it's called a sub-route, it seems. Different people translated all the different routes? Okay. That's interesting. I mean, yeah, division of labor. Of course, right? How long are these credits? Jesus Christ. Okay, come on. Yeah, whenever these credits end, I'm gonna go back to that save with the choice. And select 2, if that's Tsukasa. I'm gonna reload and select 3. Because I don't care to see these random H scenes. Not a fan of that. This is gonna sound weird, but I'm not a fan of porn in general. I don't care for it. It's just stupid to me. If it's impersonal, you know? Like, I don't mean any offense to the game, obviously. It's just not my cup of tea, you know? Just like how I didn't like Astral Chain, which is a very weird way to say that. Like, oh, I didn't like that, and I didn't like Astral Chain either. So it's like, you know, different strokes for different folks. Alright, credits are over then, cool. Alright, let's load, and I'm immediately gonna have to censor. Where's the choice? There's the choice. Alright, 2. It was Tsukasa. 3. Number 3. That's me. What? Ugh. Well, then, excuse me. Smooch. I closed my eyes, but there was no need. She just gave me a kiss on the cheek. Oh. Okay, so you are going to be a lot less overt about it, aren't you, Zakuro? On the cheek? Yes, isn't that enough? Oh, I guess. Well then, shall we call it a night? You want to end it now? Yes, I'm sorry. My prank went a little too far. I don't know what might happen to me if I let the game escalate any further. You're right. Besides, I think we've all sobered up from the cold. Maybe we overdid it.
Maybe we let it escalate a bit too far. That's right, and it's getting away too. Voicing drunk Zakuro is pretty fun, actually. Also, is it just me, or does it look like Tsukasa's drawn in a different art style from the other two girls in the CG? Oh, I accidentally skipped that line. Takashima started putting her clothes back on, okay. It's kind of scary playing with you guys, you got a bit reckless. Oh, you shouldn't just kiss someone for the sake of a prank anyway. Kagami started getting dressed too. Couldn't believe the... Okay. I think now we're at the same text. So now if I hold down control, it should skip through everything until I get to a part... Okay, yeah. It should skip through everything until I get to a part that's something I haven't read before, right? Okay, Ayana, everything's the same so far then. Oh, gonna have to censor here too again. I'm gonna have to be very quick with it. Okay, so it should stop, right? Did it not? Because that was all new. That was totally all new. Skip red text only. Why did it skip past it then? How far back do I have to go? Okay. Okay, this is back there. If I have to read through here... Can I, like, skip back in time? No? Okay. That was really weird. Okay, so this is on the train. This is all the same. With the person you love most in the world. Someone that you're in love with. Was, why are you using past tense? Where does it change anything? Well, this is when they're still on the train. Amusement park bound. Okay. Was that said before? No, yeah, this was said before. Just being with you is meaningful enough for me. They make Tsukasa and Kagami act strange. Bit upsetting you'd call them jokes. Enjoy spending time with her. The truth of what we're doing today. Just a joke. Go on some rides. That was the plan. This is all the same so far. Yeah, shaved ice. Didn't need to pay for mine. You're so kind. That's not true. Fake castle. Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, this is still the same too, I'm pretty sure. Why did it skip through it? Because I technically got an ending? That's really weird. A herd of smiles surrounded me, gathered here in this cheap world. I was saved from the feeling of floating by the person at my side. Is this when they're on the boat? I think this is when they're on the boat, right? Date for stargazing was set for the 19th. This is still the same. Yeah, she made the comment about the roof. Which he actually didn't end up doing, so that's good. Those words tumbled out of my mouth almost by accident. So, okay, yeah, now you're asking about that. Down to the minute, building C. The landmark wasn't visible. Guess we call it the borderline. Ayana. So Zakuro and Ayana know each other, but Ayana also knows Yuki, and Zakuro knew Yuki before the events of this game started somehow. I'm guessing it's gotta be, like, a repeating timeline. And Zakuro's kind of like a Rika in that case, and maybe Ayana is too. Okay. Also, this music's creepy. Which I just noticed. Haven't dropped the doll from the roof in a while. Damn, I scrolled back a while ago. I thought it was supposed to be different at the amusement park. Or maybe they meant after it. No comparison. You were with the person you liked, but I like you too. Love you. Cheap Wonderland. I remember that line. Oh.
This is different, right?
That one? Yes, that ride looks like fun. Spirit Room, the End Sky. That's a strange name. It obviously means the end of the sky, but it's written the End Sky. I wonder what it is. It says it's a spirit room, so it's probably one of those scary attractions. I'm not really sure, but it looks odd, doesn't it? It says it's a spirit room, not a haunted house. It sounds kind of creepy. Yeah, let's check it out. Okay.
The building had a bizarre structure. That was the one thing that made me uncomfortable. Other than that, it looked like an ordinary attraction. It was one of those attractions where you ride around in a gondola. I couldn't tell if the rails rusted or what, but they were making an unpleasant noise. We sat in the gondola and looked at various worlds that passed us by, each of which had been neatly demarcated from the last. At first, we were surrounded by never-ending darkness. It felt like we were rising and falling, or even moving from side to side sometimes, but we couldn't really tell for sure what was happening in the dark. What is this? What the heck? Are we in a convenience store? Did we go the wrong way?
That can't be it. Why would anyone come to a convenience store in a creepy gondola like this? Besides, there aren't any customers or employees.
There really isn't anyone here. It's kind of scary how dark it is, too. If something popped out right now, it might actually scare me. The gondola slowly passed through the deserted store. I was expecting someone dressed up like a ghost to pop out at any moment, but nothing happened. The thin layer of dust on all the shelves was a bit eerie.
Do you think they would mind if I took a piece of candy? You can't do that. It's not like there's a sign that says free samples or anything.
But the security cameras aren't even turned on.
That's not the problem here.
I grabbed a bag of potato chips from a nearby shelf. The expiration date was July 20th, 1999. Oh.
This is an antique. Let's stop this.
It was starting to make sense. The scenery didn't just look old, it really was old. What the heck was the designer thinking when he made this ride? A deserted store. It definitely was creepy, but as an attraction in an amusement park, it was kind of lacking. The rusty rails squeaked as the gondola turned toward a door behind the register. I looked at the register. Something was scribbled on a piece of paper there, just one sentence. Title of this piece, Convenience Store End.
This piece?
Convenience Store End? What does that mean?
Maybe it means that this is the end of the convenience store?
The end of the convenience store, huh? What is it supposed to be? Some sort of commentary on consumerism?
I don't know. That seems kind of complicated.
The gondola skirted the wall and entered a staircase. We watched the convenience store recede below us as we ascended. The gondola went up the endless stairs. I was a bit surprised that it could go up the steps. It was quite the agile machine.
This is a really long stairway, isn't it?
It's just stairs and stairs, stretching on forever.
Oh, I can see the end.
The staircase that we thought was about to end doubled back in the opposite direction. And after we passed that... Was the building really this big?
No, from the outside it didn't look this big.
What?
It's pitch black.
What is this?
It looks like the gondola got in an elevator.
What? What kind of ride is this?
This part looks like an apartment building.
Okay.
An apartment building? Oh, the gondola's moving again.
It moved steadily through the concrete hallway. That was a barren, lifeless hallway, and there was no telling where it would lead.
Hey, this is a hallway, right? We have to be in an apartment complex. Yes, probably. Then why are there curtains on the hallway windows? Huh?
Okay. The windows of the once modern hallway had at some point changed into the decrepit windows of a condemned apartment. I had thought that we were still in the hallway, but maybe the gondola turned into one of the rooms without either of us noticing.
This is a room, isn't it?
It looks so old.
Ah.
Would you call this the living room?
Feels like we're back in the Showa era.
Isn't that a coffee machine, though? Or a fridge or something? Can't tell, because it's blurry. It's very watercolory. There was an engraved plate on the table. Title of this piece, Living Room End. It's like some apocalypse type thing, huh? What's this? Maybe it really is some sort of criticism of modern culture.
Maybe it's trying to express a father's fear that the tight-knit family unit is falling apart.
The sound of grinding rust filled the room as the gondola advanced forward. The entire scene felt kind of surreal, or rather downright eerie. The calendar and clock were both stopped at the same point.
July of 1999, again.
What was up with that date? It must have been the date when this attraction was made. We left the living room and emerged into another staircase, except this time it was a small set of stairs like in someone's house. It was really creepy.
Huh? The stairs led right into a classroom. The living room was connected to the classroom, huh? If you lived in a house like that, you would never be late, would you? But on the other hand, your teacher would come to your room and ask, "Are you doing your homework?" You're right, that might be annoying.
Might be. A plate was set upon the podium. Title of this piece, End of the Classroom. Okay, I'm actually going to say something about your teacher could come to your room and ask, "Are you doing your homework?" Because when I was in high school, there was a guy in my class. He was the valedictorian, and both of his parents were teachers. And it's just like, wow, I can't feel more sorry for this guy. He was forced to do sports year-round. Like, I think it only could have gotten worse if he was made to have a part-time job, too. I don't know if he had one, though. I wasn't really close to him. But I felt bad for him. Because my parents aren't teachers. So, yeah, even though my mom always harassed me about my homework when I was in elementary school, but by the time I was in, like, 5th, 6th grade, she stopped asking about it. I just did it by myself. But still. A convenience store, a living room, and then a classroom. I see, so the designer was trying to bring out a feeling of unease. Wow, you don't say. There was no one in all these places where people should be, and the riders feel like intruders for being in places where they shouldn't be.
I see, so that's what I meant by spirit room. What do you mean? All of the rooms are places that exist so that people can live in them.
Oh, okay, I guess.
And when you suddenly take the people out of them and look at all these places from this gondola, we get to look into these people's lifestyles, as if those lifestyles had been amputated and preserved in a jar. I think we're the spirits on this ride.
Ah.
So there won't be any ghosts popping out and scaring us? I don't think they're going to do anything crude like that. If any ghosts appeared, we would go back to being human.
That's quite a way of interpreting it, I guess. The gondola left the classroom and went out into the hallway. Just how big was this building?
It's a really long ride, isn't it? Yeah, it's just showing us all these deserted scenes. But it's scary how big this place is.
Unless it's underground. Granted, I didn't see a CG of how big the building looked. But I'll take your word for it. The gondola kept moving through the hallway. The rust was causing a high-pitched whine. The gondola moved past the classroom and stopped.
It stopped. Yeah.
Ding. A bell rang behind us as the door closed. The gondola rotated around and...
Somehow we ended up in another elevator. Yes, it really is a huge building, isn't it?
A hospital? Title of this piece, The Final Abode.
The Final Abode? It's kind of a gross name for a hospital. By the final abode, they mean the place where you live while waiting to die, I guess.
You might be right. Most people die in the hospital, but that's a creepy way of saying it. Nevertheless, this was a hell of a design. The gondola started to move into the bed.
Oh, we're going to run into it! Whoa!
Oh boy. The gondola went into the bed. What kind of structure did this ride have?
It's dark, isn't it? Yeah, it's pitch black. Oh, there's a light.
The blue sky spread out above us, and when we looked down, there was another plate. Title of this piece, The End Sky. Oh.
I see, so that's what it was.
A tremor ran up my spine, twisting my face into a jagged smile. Normally you were supposed to be scared when you were inside a haunted house, not when you left it. But for some reason, this one was different. It felt as if everything up to this point was a prelude. The creepy feeling from all the deserted places where people should have been, and all the places where we had no right to be, culminated beneath this sky. Just like that, the gondola stopped. It seemed like the ride should return to the beginning for the next person, but if this wasn't the end, it would be like the plate was lying.
That was kind of weird. I suppose so. Well then, how about we ride something fun next? That sounds good. It'd be nice to ride something more relaxing.
Really, who the heck would make a ride like that? I doubted there was any particular meaning to it, but still, it wasn't a very pleasant experience.
A ride where you can experience the feeling of being a ghost. Yuki-sama, look! There's a boat over here! Oh, sure, just a sec. Yuki-sama, how does that sound? Would you ride the boat with me? Oh, that might be nice. After that weird ride, a boat ride would probably feel good.
Okay. Nope, and now we're on the boat. So is it all the same thing? Yeah. Okay, so... There's gotta be a lot more significance to that thing, right? This seems to be all be the same. Yeah, this is all the same. So I can well, is this the same? Creek, 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 creek. Yeah, that's the same. I remember that line. He was a poet. Yep. Aerodynamics. Okay. Singing on the train. Yep, this is the same again. So are we gonna go to the piano now? Yep. Is this all the same? Is this the same? This feels different. Right after midnight. If we want to find a sky, it'd be easier to do it at a later time. Besides, I think this is different.
Tomorrow when we go stargazing, let's start right after midnight.
Right after midnight? You mean right when the date changes to the 20th?
Yes.
Why? If we want to find the sky, it'd be easier to do that at an earlier time. Besides, we can't really be in the building that late.
There's no problem. We can get into the building.
Huh?
If the world girl desires it, nothing in this world is impossible.
Excuse me, Takashima. By that?
I understand. It sounds like I'm saying something strange to you right now. You probably think I'm some mysterious girl, or maybe I'm some crazy weirdo. No, that's not... It's fine, I understand now. I understand everything. At first, I suffered for my own sin.
This is certainly different.
Your own sin? Yes, I thought that I had to atone for the crime I'd committed. Some kind of redemption. Yeah, but I understand after walking through this world together with you. The redemption that I seek will only end up making you suffer. If I don't do it, then you'll be happy. You can live the rest of your life like this, in this wonderful everyday.
Oh, title drop.
But...
yeah, that's also something that made me think this is probably a time loop. Because the title, Wonderful Everyday. So, yeah.
My redemption would take that all away. I don't really get it. Tomorrow, before the 19th ends, please come to Building C. Then, Kagami and Tsukasa? If you wish, I think you'll be able to bring them along, but if you don't wish to, you won't be able to. What does that? You'll understand tomorrow. Depending on how you approach the day we call tomorrow, the shape of the world could change greatly. The day we call tomorrow? Yes, just like this shop. This shop is...
Then it hit me. The other customers were gone, even the bartender was nowhere to be seen. The only two people here were Takashima and me.
This is... Most likely it's because you wish for a long journey. A long journey? Yes, so tomorrow on the rooftop. Wait, Takashima!
Nope! July Infinity. That day, it was afternoon by the time I realized all the other people had disappeared from the world. Okay, here we go. Here's some cool stuff. The first thing I noticed was that Kagami and Tsukasa were gone. Oh? The house that had been so noisy before was now enveloped in silence. Not a single voice could be heard. There was nothing but static on the TV no matter which channel I flipped to. Damn. This feels like that episode of SpongeBob. I realize that this is probably supposed to be, like, creepy-ish, kinda. But whenever scenes like this happen, where it's like, oh my god, everybody's gone except for me, it reminds me of that SpongeBob episode. I think it's literally titled Gone. And it's one of the weirdest episodes of SpongeBob, I swear to god. At first, I thought it was just a coincidence. I thought Kagami and Tsukasa had gone home. I thought the TV antenna was just acting up. I walked around the room with sleepy eyes. I didn't start to get anxious until I got in the shower. As the hot water pricked at my skin, my thoughts started to come together, and I began to notice that some things were off. Since last night, I had hardly seen any other human beings. I took some milk out of the fridge. The stuff in the fridge hadn't gone bad. The power was still on. I looked at the clock. It was still ticking away the seconds. It ticked off each second, one by one, with a crisp sound. I sat on the floor and looked around. The room was really big. I'd been living in this house alone up until now, but this was the first time I'd felt like I was living alone. I chugged the rest of the milk and went back to my room. Is that your computer's startup sound? That's terrifying. I turned on the computer. The servers were still up so I could connect to the internet. My email inbox was empty, nothing new. My anxiety grew, but then I felt a moment of relief. There are new posts. The news site I visit had been updated, and there were new posts on the anonymous text board. Through the screen, I could feel the presence of people in the world. The words were increasing, the words were expanding. Time kept ticking away, second by second, unchanging. But despite that, or perhaps because of that, the landscape had changed, like it was flickering. I felt a strange feeling every time the clock ticked away another second. It felt like the world was contracting. Now that I think about it, why haven't I seen Kagami and Tsukasa since last night? They were so insistent on staying here, but now, they had left without a word. In that case, why didn't I just go press the intercom and ask? Their house was right next to mine. The two of them should have been over there. The words on the internet were still increasing. Words were being written on every site. That was my proof that people still existed. This wasn't an imaginary world, it was the real world, where the news was still being updated minute by minute. So why did I feel so uneasy? The words continued expanding, but I had this feeling like the world was contracting. As the world shrunk, the words expanded. I turned the TV on again. Static. The signal was poor. Was the antenna mistuned? Words still flowed through the telephone line. Now, not just words, images and even videos were showing up. What's this feeling? What the... The television screen was still full of static. It wasn't receiving anything. 36,000 out of 86,400. One, okay. I give up. I brushed the hair out of my face as I let out a sardonic laugh and looked around the room. I looked out the window. A large sunflower was blooming. For some reason, it looked gloomy. They say sunflowers face toward the sun when they bloom. They're flowers that symbolize brightness. Regardless, the sunflower looked like a flower that had been put on someone's grave. The sunflower's yellow color started to get on my nerves. The static didn't stop. The words increased. The computer screen was covered in words. I took out my cell phone. I had 0 bars of reception. No signal at all? All the wired devices were still working, but not a single radio signal was getting through. Some sort of jamming, maybe? I tried the landline. If I could use the internet, I should have been able to use the phone. I could hear the phone ringing next door. Are Kagami and Tsukasa not home? The atmosphere was unbearable. I got dressed and ran outside. I stood in front of the Wakatsuki house. Why didn't they answer the phone? Shouldn't someone be upset by all the weird stuff happening? What's this? When I tried to ring the doorbell, I realized this house had no nameplate. There was just a white ceramic plate there. No. Ugh. I walked to the station. The trains were running like normal, but no one was there. It wasn't a terribly large station, but it wasn't so small that the lack of people seemed normal either. A train came into the station. There was no announcement. I couldn't help but laugh. If every trace of humanity was gone, then it wouldn't be that scary, but... Existences flickered before me. They were existences that I couldn't see or touch. What is this? This is just like that ride from yesterday. The spirit room. Lifestyles that continued despite the people being cut out of them. The gondola that kept moving forward and forward. I rode the train. 36,427 out of 86,400. 43,200 out of 86,400. I didn't see anyone even after coming all the way out here. No one was at school. Even in Suginomiya, I didn't see anyone. Maybe you didn't see anyone because it's the weekend? Still, it's weird that I didn't see anyone at all. Where are we? Is there any meaning in that question? Who cares if there's meaning? Of course I'm going to ask. That's just natural. Natural, is it? Well then, I'll answer you. This is the roof of the tallest building of Kita High, Building C. Okay, be literal. The closest place to the sky. No, that's not what I mean.
This whole city. This word is called Suginomiya. That's not it. I didn't meet anyone on my way here, but there are still signs of human existence. The world is nothing but the world. If you ask what the world where I didn't meet anyone is, there's nothing to say except that it is the world where you didn't meet anyone. That's not what I mean! I brought some tea. Would you like to have some? Tea? Yes.
The roof and the tea set. Takashima and I. The texture of the teacup Takashima handed me. I smelled an aroma coming from the tea. Earl Grey filled my nostrils.
I picked out the best leaves. Please, relax.
The bitter taste and pleasant aroma grew within my mouth. I glanced up at the sky. The blue sky stretched as far as the eye could see. The sunlight, the sound of the wind. Every sensation seemed to affirm the reality of this world.
The internal world.
She let those words hang in the air.
The internal world and the external world. Do you think they exist? Is everything you're feeling right now part of the external world, or part of the internal world? Is this blue sky part of your internal world, or is it part of the external world? It is as if we each have our own internal world, and we only feel that we are all inhabiting a communal external world.
These are turning into tongue twisters with how much you're saying internal and external.
So how does one reach the external world which we share? Reach? By what means can a person truly know the world? And by what means can a person come to false conclusions about the world? Is there a way to determine whether a perception is correct? Is there a limit to human knowledge? If so, in what form does that limit exist? What are you talking about all of a sudden? Nothing. I just answered your question with more questions. Is this world right here your internal world, or is it the external world? The internal world and the external world? Yes, the internal world and the external world. It is from the external world that we get all information which can't be codified in language. It manifests in our consciousness through vision, the sense of touch, and all our other senses. External information, basic cognition, sense data. The nomenclature, if that's how you pronounce that, isn't important. We receive that information and use it to construct our inner worlds. If one believes that, then the world has a two-layered structure, with an internal and external world. In that case, how are those two worlds demarcated? Is the flavor of the tea you just drank part of the external world? Is it part of the internal world? How about the teacup you just touched? Is it part of the external world? Is it part of the internal world? The person you are looking at right now. Am I part of your internal world? Am I part of the external world? The objects that existed before the information came from the external world. What is the object that comes from the outside, and until what point is it external? From what point is it internal? An object becomes part of the internal world at the moment that one senses it through sight, sound, or any other sense. So when can we reach this so-called external world? So I answer your question thusly. Where are we? Suginomiya Ward, Keto High, Building C, Rooftop. I cannot give you a better answer than that. I have no way of viewing any world other than the one I am looking at now. I have no way of finding out about the external world. I can only gain information through the context of my own inner world. I can only speak to those questions which I am capable of knowing the answer to. Takashima's expression was almost blank today. It was like her expression had vanished along with the people of the city. You sure know a lot of hard stuff, Takashima. No, they're all thoughts that you've had. I suppose you've realized by now. The identity of the girl who is the world itself is... Yes. Hey, Takashima. Yes? Can I touch you? Yes, if that is what you desire. I reached out to her. The smell of her hair, the feel of her skin, her breath, her pulse. I could feel all of them. You're warm. Yes. Why did everyone disappear? If there is no vessel or container for a liquid, then that liquid is unable to fill any space. You were the one who whispered that this earth is not a vessel. That is all. A liquid without vessel? That's me? You could say that, or you could say it's not. Putting that aside. What? Shall we go see the beginning and end of the sky together? The beginning and end of the sky. Yes, the final sky.
The two of us looked up at the sky from the rooftop. We laid down and looked at the great blue sky. Her head came up to my arm, so she ended up using it as a pillow.
It doesn't hurt, does it?
Not at all.
I see. Takashima? Yes? Does my arm make a good pillow? Yes, it's very comfortable.
Takashima laughed. I definitely felt her. I could feel her touch, her fragrance, and her breath. That's why I asked.
My smell. My pulse. My warmth. Don't worry, they're all right here. I'm not a figment of your imagination or an illusion, so long as you believe that to be so.
If I believe, then I exist.
Existence through belief. We're like gods. Not at all. That's an incredibly natural prerequisite. Without belief in something, a person couldn't even muster the will to talk. We are permitted to even walk through the maze of skepticism. Your feet will falter when you begin to doubt whether the next step will plunge you into the abyss. In other words, don't doubt yourself. That's not what I'm saying. There are myriad answers without questions worth asking. I'm just saying that there's no meaning in asking them. After all...
Her eyes suddenly started to droop.
Regardless of whether you believe or not, I'm happy here next to you. It feels very, very nice. The warmth of the person I love is comfortable. That's all.
Takashima nuzzled into my arm, a tranquil expression on her face. She said my arm was comfortable. Was there any meaning in doubting her words?
Oh, how I wish I could stay here forever.
Forever? My arm would go numb.
Not that I want to lay here forever, just... I want to stay in our world.
Our world?
Right. This world is you, and this world is me.
What do you mean?
Who knows? What do I mean?
The world was dyed red as the sun began to set. Vega revealed her form in the eastern sky. Next, Deneb. Finally, Altair completed the shape of the summer triangle. An enormous triangle stretched across the Milky Way. Stars dashed across the sky. The summer triangle approached the apex of the heavens.
The summer triangle is all the way up there. Yes. We're almost out of time. Today is the last, isn't it? Yes. The time is approaching when the girl of the sky will meet the girl who is the world itself, right? Yes. Well then.
Takashima took the doll and held it over the fence. I silently waited for the sky.
Yuki.
I opened my eyes when I heard her say my name. The doll she had thrown was floating in the air, and then it stood up. Oh god. Oh god, hi. I had thought that things were a little strange before, but this time I couldn't help but gasp at the sight before me.
Excuse me, Mr. Stuffed Rabbit?
Oh god. Yes?
Are you the station master?
No, not at all.
Then who are you?
I'm the Rabbit Station Master.
So you're Mr. Rabbit Station Master, then?
Yes, I'm Mr. Rabbit Station Master. Putting that aside. The stuffed rabbit moved toward me. He stopped in front of me and peered at me with eyes that looked like... No, eyes that really were buttons.
What?
Excuse me, would you allow me to partake in one of your cigarettes?
Sure.
I wondered why he was here, but for the moment I just passed him a cigarette. Oh, you have good taste. This is quite the rare brand.
Not really. It's sold at the convenience store, so it's not all that rare.
Then that convenience store is what's rare.
Convenience stores are everywhere.
Are they now? Also, could you give me a light? He was awfully demanding for a stuffed toy.
Sure.
I just wanted to right click to make sure I was seeing his dumb face. And he actually has a cigarette in his mouth. What the hell? I'm glad that you're keeping some of the dumb anime bullshit even when you're getting all existential about the internal and external world. This has been one chaotic hour. 30 minutes ago, there was lesbian sex on screen. Christ.
Sure.
Whoa, whoa, be careful with that. I'm really flammable, you know?
Maybe you shouldn't be smoking.
That's a good point. He laughed, though he didn't seem to pay any heed to my warning. 86,383 out of 86,400. What's the point of 86,400? He lit the cigarette. Ah, it tastes really good.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they say tobacco is bad for you, don't they?
Yeah, it really is, you know?
Actually, that's a lie.
No, it's definitely not a lie.
You don't get it. You don't get it at all. You can say that so easily because you don't smoke yourself.
No, I smoke. Why else would I have cigarettes on me?
I guess you're right. That's another good point.
He laughed me off. He really didn't care about my opinion at all.
The gray smoke disappeared into the darkness of the night. 86,394 out of 86,400. 395, 396, 397. You know, they only recently discovered that tobacco isn't all that bad for you. They actually discovered it's good for you. They did research and proved it. Is 86,400 how many seconds there are in a day? That sounds right. Right? Because like 24 times 60 times 60. 24 times 60 is like 4,000 something. Times that by 60. Well, maybe it's 2,000 something. I don't know. What? Who did research like that? The Ministry of Health and Welfare. No way. It's true. The newest statistical analysis bears it out. For young people, it's almost always good for the body. They say good medicine never tastes good, right? It's just like that. It means what's bitter is better for you. That's wrong. It's not wrong.
Then what about a poison that tastes bitter?
Well, of course poison's going to be bitter. Poison and medicine are the same thing. Depending on how you take it and how much you use, poison can be medicine. That's why tobacco is a kind of medicine. Right now, the majority party is advocating the classification of tobacco as a designated health food. But still, this cigarette tastes really good. Chomp.
What the fuck? You don't eat them.
You don't? What's up with this guy? He flicked the cigarette away. Slowly fell to the ground and scattered cinders into the air upon impact. Okay, now he's just a rabbit. 398. His feet began to rise up off the ground. 399. 0. Okay, yeah, that's gotta be how many seconds there are in a day then. He took out his pocket watch. Please stay behind a white line, it's dangerous.
White line?
At some point the fence had disappeared and it was replaced by a white line. Felt like I could step right off the roof and into thin air.
Huh. I guess anything can happen now.
Not anything. Not anything at all. Come on, it's dangerous, so please step back.
What's that?
Oh, the next steamer is a special direct train to the Summer Triangle. Please step away from the white line.
Steamer? What the hell? This is what surprises you? Not the fact that the doll is the station master? This is a steam train? Yes, it's the Milky Way Railroad.
What is going on? Huh? A train? On the roof. Alright. The doors are opening.
Well, let's go.
What do you mean, let's go? Suddenly the rooftop was overflowing with people like a train station, though I had no idea what they were. Aren't you going to get on? I suddenly heard a voice from behind me, even though no one was there a moment ago. The man in front of me was covered in grime and wore tattered clothes.
Oh, well.
Another doll. Oh, inspect your tickets! A teddy bear came out of the train and stood in front of me.
Who are you?
Monokuma, obviously. Been a while since I've done that voice. I'm the conductor, of course. Come on, if you're going to get on, please show me your ticket. The conductor? He looked just like the stuffed animal that fell on me from the rooftop.
Here.
Takashima took a small gray ticket from her pocket. And how about you?
Oh, no, I don't.
Even if I wanted to get on this mysterious train, it's not like I had a ticket. I pulled out my pockets to show I didn't have anything, and pulled out a green piece of paper about the size of a postcard folded in 4. When he saw the paper, he took it from my hand. Let me see. The conductor stood very straight and unfolded the paper carefully. Then as he read it, he kept fidgeting and straightening the buttons on his jacket. He doesn't have a jacket. What was that? Was it not a ticket after all? The station master came over too, and they both peered up at the paper and studied it intensely. I wondered if they were going to get mad at me. You've got something really rare here. Did you bring this from 3-dimensional space, sir? The conductor asked me that while handing the ticket back to me, but I had no idea how to respond.
I don't really know.
I opened the paper, and it proved to be 10 strange characters printed in the middle of a black arabesque pattern.
What's this?
Mysterious person. This is very valuable.
Is it?
I can't believe you could have something like this and not know about it. What you have here is a ticket that even lets you go to the real heaven. Huh. Not just heaven, wherever you like. Why, if you have this, you ought to be able to go anywhere at all on the likes of this Milky Way Railway of the imperfect, illusory fourth dimension. No, this really is quite something.
We only stop at this station for 5 minutes. Please board the train.
The station? The rooftop was a train station. What's the name of the station?
Minakami High Rooftop Station.
Not just what you'd expect. Takashima and I entered a carriage lit by a row of small yellow lights. The seats in the carriage were covered with plush blue cloth and were almost all empty. We sat in one of the many empty seats. Then a man who we'd seen outside started talking to us. Well then, where would you like that ticket to take you? This is kind of embarrassing, but I actually don't know where we're going. I see. How about we say, I don't have any particular place to go, but I thought I'd ride the train to Osaka.
Does this train go to Osaka?
Of course it does.
But I don't really feel like going to Osaka. Here, look at this map.
Map? Takashima took out a map that looked like a circular sheet.
That's a map.
Oh, you didn't receive one at the station? It was a sparkling stone that seemed to have been cut out of the night sky itself.
Is that obsidian? Yes, that's right. This map is made of obsidian.
Okay.
Look, if you hold it up to the window like this...
At that moment, everything before my eyes became suddenly bright as though the light from a trillion phosphorescent squid had been frozen at the same instant and dropped down into the sky. Okay. Or as though a diamond company had pretended it was not making a good haul and had hoarded its diamonds in hopes of keeping the price high. But someone had suddenly turned the cash upside down and scattered diamonds everywhere.
Is that moonlight shining on the riverbed?
We glanced out the window and watched as the silver pampas grass of the sky that grew among the palely shining banks of the Milky Way River rippled and swayed in the rustling wind.
That's not moonlight. It's on account of the silver river of the Milky Way that it shines so.
When I stuck my head out the window, the Milky Way, I became aware of the beautiful water, more transparent than glass or even hydrogen, flowing soundlessly on. It might have been a trick of the eyes, but at times the water seemed to form tiny purple ripples or shine like a rainbow. In the marks here and there stood beautiful phosphorescent triangular markers. The far ones were small and sharply etched in orange and yellow. The near ones were large and had a slightly hazy pale blue light. Set in various configurations, some triangular, some rectangular, some in the shape of a lightning bolt or loop of chain, they filled the fields with their light. It's beautiful, isn't it? The man whispered to himself, and something caught my eye.
Is that line on your hand a charm or something?
The line drawn on my hand? This is something my master bestowed upon me. A very enthusiastic person, apt to draw such lines with a pen.
Oh.
So his master drew a line on his hand with a pen. What a strange person.
Is there some meaning to that line?
Yes. Every one of these lines marks the parts of my body that my master is pleased with. He touched one of the many lines drawn on his body and laughed mischievously. Huh. That face looked like the same man's face and a completely different man's face at the same time. It may be unforgivable that I lived to be 82. Oh, you're an old man. Alright.
My satisfaction on that account was, however, less than you might think. You are right that a great longing for survival possessed me continually. I was in continual fear of death and continually struggling with it. I believe that the struggle against death, the unconditional and self-willed determination to live, is the motive power behind the lives and activities of all outstanding men. My 82 years show just as conclusively that we must all die in the end as if I had died a schoolboy. If it helps to justify me, I should like to say this too. My nature had much of the child in it, its curiosity and love for idleness and play. Well, and so it went on, till I saw that sooner or later there must be enough of play.
When he read out that description, I got the feeling that I knew him from somewhere.
Where have you come from?
Takashima asked that of the man in front of us.
I was in the service of a wise master, but for a time I separated from my master and approached the house of my kin. That was because I thought more people than just myself should know my existence. I had many friends in the mansion, and many guests came every day. People who were shocked, who laughed, who cried, who were enraged. I met with many people like that. That was the wonderful everyday that my master allowed me.
Huh. Your master truly valued you, didn't he?
Yes, truly. Even after I've aged many years and been burned by the flame, I still have the ability to come here. I suppose this is what they call destiny.
Would you mind if I touched your hand?
Of course, if you wish.
Takashima softly grasped the man's outstretched hand.
Seriousness is an accident of time. It consists, I don't mind telling you in confidence, of putting too high a value on time.
Wrong character.
I, too, once put too high a value on time. For that reason, I wish to be 100 years old. In eternity, however, there is no time, you see. Eternity is a mere moment, just long enough for a joke.
Are you able to read the line?
I can read it because it is. Your master drew it on you. As a playwright shapes a drama from a handful of characters, so do we from the pieces of the disintegrated self build up ever new groups, with ever new interplay and suspense, and new situations that are eternally inexhaustible. It takes hold of some music played where you please, without distinction, stupid and coarse, lamentably distorted, to boot, and chucks it into space, to land where it has no business to be. And yet after all this, it cannot destroy the original spirit of the music. It can only demonstrate its own senseless mechanism, its inane meddling and marring. Listen then, you poor thing. Listen well, you have need of it. And now you hear not only a Handel, who, disfigured by radio, is all the same, in this most ghastly of disguises still divine. You hear as well and you observe, most worthy sir, a most admirable symbol of all life. When you listen to radio, you are a witness of the everlasting war between idea and appearance, between time and eternity, between the human and the divine. It little becomes people like you to be critics of radio or of life either. Better learn to listen first, learn what is to be taken seriously, and laugh at the rest. Is that how it is?
The man looked at my expression and understood everything.
I remember it being smaller than that, though. It was pocket-sized.
Book? That's right, you often took me along to the cafe. Please look at the cross and the stars. Does it make you remember a poem from another day? When I looked out the window, far downstream, emerging like a single tree out of the invisible water of the river, a cross studded with lights of blue, bitter orange, and every color under the sun, and crowned with a pale white halo of cloud. But we above you evermore residing, in the ether star translumined ice. Know not day nor night nor times dividing, wear not age nor sex for our device, all your sins and anguish self-affrighting, your murders and lascivious delighting, are to us but a show, like the suns that circle and go. Changing not our day for night, on your frenzied life we spy and refresh ourselves thereafter, with the stars in order fleeing. Our breath is winter in our sight, fawns the dragon of the sky. Cool and unchanging is our eternal being. Cool and star bright is our eternal laughter. A current of excitement ran through the train. All that could be heard here and there was a happy cry, as when a child leaps up and plucks a gourd or a sigh, ineffably deep and humble. Then, gradually, the cross came abreast of their window and they could see the circlet of clouds, pale as the flesh of apples, slowly, gently turning. Hallelujah, hallelujah. The voices of the people resounded bright and joyful, and from the farthest reaches of the sky, that chill sky, everyone heard the indescribably fresh, transparent call of a trumpet. Then, passing a cluster of signals and electric lamps, the train gradually slowed until at last it came to a full stop directly opposite the cross. I'm happy that I had the chance to meet you. We'll walk from space to space in glad progression, and should not cling to one as homestead for us. The cosmic spirit will not bind nor bore us. It lifts and widens us in every session. For hardly set in one of life's expanses we make it home and apathy commences. But only he who travels and takes chances can break the habit's paralyzing stances. It might be even that the last of hours will make us once again a youthful lover. The call of life to us forever flowers. Anon, my heart, say farewell and recover.
Thank you.
In the next instant, his form had disappeared. The train was over half empty now. All at once, it had become lonely and deserted with the wind rushing in. We looked and saw all the people kneeling devoutly on the shores of the Milky Way River in front of the cross. We saw a godlike figure robed in white approaching with outstretched arms across the invisible water of the heavenly river. But at that moment, a glassy whistle blew, and just as the train was beginning to move, a silvery mist rolled smoothly in from farther downstream and blocked their view.
Yuki.
Then, the only passengers left were the two of us.
There's the coal sack over there. It's a hole in the sky.
I looked where she was pointing. That's a black hole. In one part of the heavenly river gaped a huge pitch-black hole. I could not tell how deep the bottom was or what might be inside. No matter how much I peered into it, rubbing my eyes, I could make nothing out. Only my eyes began to smart. Those were all lines out of Night on the Milky Way Railroad. Indeed, our story ended with a story.
This is where Giovanni and Campanella have to part ways. This was the final stop for their story. Yes, that's right. From here on out, I have to walk alone. Yes. I see. So that's how it is.
When did I realize? No, I got the feeling there was no when. I'd probably understood everything from that moment.
The girl who is the world itself was me. Yes. In the beginning and end of the sky that you were looking for, that was the end of this illusionary world sky and the beginning of the sky in the real world. So you were looking for the border between the illusionary world and the real world. The illusionary world and the real world, is it? I wish they were so clearly demarcated. I just tried to return you to your original world, because you got caught up in this. I got caught up, huh?
From that twilit rooftop, a girl jumped over the fence. I saw it happen.
I definitely did hear a loud sound, at least for a moment. The moment that doll touched my skin. That evening, it wasn't a doll that fell from the rooftop, was it? No, that was me.
Oh.
You were the one who fell. Yes. And that's how you hit me? Yes, that's how it happened. I see. Which means that the destination of this Milky Way Railroad is a pretty boring place. A boring place? After all, wouldn't that mean we're going to wake up in a hospital bed? I don't understand. You don't? No, not really. Or we might even wake up in heaven. No, I don't think that world exists. Then hell, maybe. That world doesn't exist either. The world ahead is a familiar sight. It is a world filled with ordinary sights. So at the very least, I'll be going back somewhere. Yes, beneath the sky where the 3 stars of Vega, Altair, and Deneb shine. Beneath the sky. This is our parting. Yeah, I guess it is. I'm sorry. You don't need to apologize anymore. Then please let me say one more thing. One more thing? Thank you. You were the one who gave me life. I always loved you. I'm sure I was just a nuisance, but I'm thankful that I was able to meet you again in this world. I'm thankful that you let me experience something so wonderful, even as I was walking this road that I must walk alone. In my short life here in this world that you call an illusion, I made many memories. Even if it is an illusionary world, they're the best memories I have. Even if it is just a cheap, good-for-nothing dream world, even then, the time I spent with you, every day was wonderful.
Oh boy, oh boy. The world was covered in white, unbroken white. A world of nothing but white. An astonishing world. A world where you could neither move forward nor run away, but still I forged ahead. Even though the scenery around me didn't change at all, I kept on running. Takashima. Obstinance, vanity, scruples, discrimination, pride. Takashima left all those bothersome things behind. But I would continue to demand my tobacco, my rooftop, and my frilly dress. If that was the road by which I was supposed to return. I remembered the sunflowers, and I realized something. Sunflowers bring to mind an offering of flowers. Actually, he was the one who said that. They look like chrysanthemums because they both belong to Astaraceae. I had walked through this white world before. This was the second time I had to walk this road. This inescapable white world. It was just like the road beyond that field of sunflowers.
I exist if I desire it, huh?
In that white world, I remembered it all. I knew that when I woke up from this dream, I would have forgotten most of it, but I pointed to the end of that endless white pathway.
The world is a vessel. That which can fill the vessel.
I pressed to my chest the truth I'd found and exited the white room. I was done being a ghost. 1 out of 86,400. Yuki opened her eyes. Huh. Okay. That was definitely a better ending. I liked that quite a bit, actually. But, yeah, about the frickin' H thing again. Just... Yeah, that definitely did not feel story important at all. Like, maybe the scene afterward with Zakuro's actually important, but... Like, the actual scene with Kagami did not feel important at all. How Kagami and Tsukasa didn't really feel important in the first place in this. Ayana probably said more of substance than Tsukasa or Kagami. So, yeah. I knew that this would be a lot more... Like, this ending wouldn't be as ridiculous as the one with Kagami as soon as we chose Zakuro, and she was just like, yep, just on the cheek. Instead of Kagami, who just started making out with her. I don't know what Tsukasa would have done, but I don't really care enough to figure out. So, yeah. That's not to say I hate Kagami and Tsukasa. I think they're alright characters, but I don't really have any reason to care too much about them so far. Like, I don't know. Granted, I kind of had like a similar feeling at the end of the first chapter of Umineko. Not the Let's Play, because I already knew what happened. Because of my first experience with Umineko was the anime. But when I got to the end of that first arc, I was just like, what's the fucking point of George and Jessica? What's the point of anyone here? Except for Battler and Beatrice, you know? But I have a similar feeling here with Kagami and Tsukasa. Even though, unlike Umineko, there's no culprit here, it seems. Unless they do start doing weirder shit later on, which they might. But I don't know. It depends. They might kill people. I don't know. Or it's just all gonna be very... Yeah, this game does definitely remind me a lot of Clannad. So yeah, even though it's been years since I watched that anime. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago? Might have been 3 or 4 even. I don't remember when I watched it. I think it was summer 2017? I don't know. I can barely remember. I'd have to check my Mal account. Because I actually put the days that I start and end series on there because I'm weird. But either way, that was certainly cool. An interesting twist. The dolls are a bit goofy, but whatever, anime. And it felt very spiritual, which I'm rarely a fan of super spiritual, supernatural stuff, but I feel like this game's taking it in a different direction where it did kind of feel thrown in, but due to the fact that I know that this isn't, like, the end for good, it harbors intrigue rather than makes me think that was a stupid fucking twist. Because if this was like the end of the game, I would just be like, nope, that was pointless. That was not good. But since there's that sense of intrigue for what comes next, it's good. So, yeah. I don't really have a lot to say, because I'm kind of confused. And me brain hurt. Oh, that's Kagami and Tsukasa on this image. I never realized what characters it was. I thought it was Yuki and Zakuro the whole time. That's Kagami and Tsukasa. Huh. Okay. Yes, return to title screen, please. So, do you start the next chapter then? What? How do you continue? Extras? Options? Hmm? Oh! Oh! Okay, hold on. No, go back to the title screen. The subject does not belong to the world, but it is a limit of the world. What's going on? The sense of the world must lie outside the world. In the world, everything is as it is, and happens as it does happen. In it, there is no value, and if there were, it would be of no value. Okay, what's going on? I clicked on something. That's just copyright stuff. Okay. Friday afternoon, during final hours. Wait, this is the beginning again. Okay, hold on. Return to the title screen. If I click start. Down the rabbit hole. Okay. There's like a bunch of different there's like glass shatters all over the place here. Huh, do I have to get Tsukasa's ending in order to move on then? Or is this different? If it's different, then you can tell me, but if I have to get Tsukasa's ending, I'll do it off screen because I don't care about doing it on screen. But yeah, that was a much longer episode than I was hoping it to be. But it was fine. You know. I don't have much to say, so I'll just say that's going to be it for this episode, guys. If you liked it, then be sure to press the like button, and if you didn't like it, then fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye. Yeah.